court decision.
Well, some troubling news on the U.S. economy today. The government's final revision, the final read for first quarter GDP, showing a 2.9% drop, much bigger than expected, and that's the biggest setback we've seen in 5 years. Let's talk about it with David Asman of the Fox Business Network. David, it's hard to think about what happened 5 days ago, let alone 5 years ago, but we were in a recession then. So what does it say that we're back to at a level that we've only really seen around recessions?
It's not very good. These are really shocking figures. Nobody suspected. We saw the revision down to 1%, but almost 3% drop in our gross domestic product is absolutely shocking. We haven't seen a quarter this bad outside of a recession in the whole history of the United States record keeping. So this is really shocking. And by the way, the cold weather, everybody said it was just because of the cold weather. That really only explains about half of this drop. It's actually pretty simple. A lot of companies, a lot of private equity firms and banks are sitting on tons of cash. In fact, private equity firms that usually spend that cash on creating businesses are sitting on $1.14 trillion worth of cash right now. And they're doing that because they don't see a way of spending that and getting money in return. That is, the cost of doing business is so expensive now that they would rather sit on that cash and probably lose money as a result of doing so. So if you increase the cost of doing business with taxes, with regulations, as we've seen happening over the past several years, eventually people with cash stop trying to create businesses because it's not worth it to them. By the way, Janet, very interesting. Most Americans felt in January, exactly when the economy was contracting at its worst point, 74% of Americans felt that we were still in a recession. So when all the economists were saying that the economy was growing, Americans knew that it wasn't, and Americans were right.
Well, one of the common indicators, unofficially, David, of a recession, right, is that you have two quarters of negative GDP. Is there anything in the numbers that would suggest that this most recent quarter, the last 3 months that we just got through, will also be negative?
Well, there are possibilities. In fact, we just had the durable goods orders for May. Now, durable goods are things that businesses buy that are supposed to last for 3 or more years. That was down. So the fact is that even after the winter, these were figures for May, companies are ordering less. Now, some people want to put a smiley face on it and say, well, that's just, if you take out the orders for airplanes and military equipment, the number was much better. But still, we have to grow at enormous numbers in order to fill that hole that was created in the first quarter. We have to grow at 4, 5, 6% for the next few quarters so that we don't have a negative figure for the whole year, and that's going to be hard to do.
Very interesting. So we're starting off the year with a deficit, and it'll be an interesting road from here on out. David, great to have you as always.
Thank you so very much. Good to see you.